Imagine this. You unlock your phone for just 1 minute. You open Instagram almost without thinking. A friend is on vacation in Bali. Someone your age just bought their dream car. Another person announces a promotion. A fitness influencer has the perfect body. A creator with half your experience somehow has millions of followers. 5 minutes ago, your life felt normal. Now it feels like you're behind. Nothing in your room changed. Nothing in your bank account disappeared. Nobody insulted you. And yet somehow, you feel smaller. You close the app, but the feeling doesn't close with it. It follows you. Into your work, into your relationships, into your sleep. You tell yourself you'll stop comparing tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, and your thumb finds the Instagram icon before your brain even realizes what happened. If this feels familiar, you're not weak. You're experiencing something that millions of people quietly live through every single day. What's strange is that Instagram didn't invent comparison. It simply built the most efficient comparison machine humanity has ever created. Thousands of lives, thousands of achievements, thousands of perfect moments, delivered directly into your mind, every hour, every day. The frightening part isn't that these images exist. It's that your brain treats them as evidence. Evidence that everyone else is happier, more attractive, more successful, more loved. Meanwhile, your own life feels ordinary because you experience all of it: the messy mornings, the unfinished goals, the awkward conversations, the moments nobody posts. You're comparing your complete reality to everyone else's highlight reel, and no one wins that comparison. But here's something even more unsettling. What if Instagram isn't actually creating your anxiety? What if it's revealing something that has been hiding inside you all along? Because two people can scroll through exactly the same feed, one closes the app inspired, the other closes it feeling worthless. Same app, same posts, completely different experience. Why? That question takes us far away from Silicon Valley, to forests, monasteries, and quiet mountain paths over 2,500 years ago. Long before smartphones, long before influencers, long before anyone had followers, there lived a man who spent years trying to understand one simple question. Why do human beings suffer even when they seem to have everything they need? His answer still feels surprisingly modern. Not because he predicted Instagram, but because he understood the human mind. The Buddha wasn't interested in escaping reality. He was interested in understanding it. He noticed that people chased praise, ran away from criticism, collected possessions, protected their identities, compared themselves with others. And somehow, the more they gained, the less peaceful they became. Does that sound familiar? Today, we don't collect kingdoms. We collect followers. We don't count gold. We count likes. We don't wait weeks for social approval. We refresh the screen every few minutes. Technology changed. The mind didn't. Think about the last time one of your posts didn't perform the way you hoped. Maybe you didn't admit it to anyone, but you checked again, then one more time. You weren't looking at numbers anymore. You were looking for reassurance, for proof that you mattered, that someone noticed, that you weren't invisible. And when the numbers stayed low, why did it hurt? They're only pixels. Why should pixels influence your mood? Because your brain quietly translated them into something much bigger. People don't care. I'm losing relevance. I'm not interesting. I'm falling behind. Notice what happened. The event was simple. The story became painful. Buddhism teaches that between what happens and what we feel, there is something incredibly powerful. Interpretation. The mind doesn't simply observe reality. It creates meaning. Imagine receiving no messages for an entire day. One person thinks, everyone must be busy. Another thinks, no one likes me. Same situation, different suffering. Instagram works exactly the same way. You don't merely see someone else's success. Your mind immediately begins writing a story. They're happier, they're smarter, they're winning, and I'm not. What's fascinating is that neuroscience is beginning to describe many of these mental habits using different language than Buddhism, but often pointing towards similar observations about attention, craving, and the stories our minds create. The platform isn't whispering these thoughts into your ears. Your own mind is. Instagram simply gives it endless material. Imagine giving a campfire unlimited dry wood. Would you blame the wood or the fire? This is where most advice goes wrong. People tell you to delete the app. Take a social media detox. Touch grass. Wake up at 5 a.m. Meditate for 10 minutes. While those things can help, they don't solve the deeper problem. Because even if Instagram disappeared tomorrow, comparison would simply find another place to live. At work, at school, at family gatherings, in friendships, in mirrors, in your own memories. The battlefield isn't your phone. The battlefield is your attention. And attention is one of the most valuable things you possess. Every notification competes for it. Every advertisement buys it. Every algorithm studies it. But almost nobody teaches you how to protect it. More than 2,000 years ago, Buddhist practitioners trained attention as carefully as an athlete trains the body. They understood something that modern life keeps proving again and again. Where your attention goes, your emotional life follows. Spend hours feeding comparison. Comparison grows. Spend hours feeding gratitude. Gratitude becomes easier. Spend hours feeding fear. Fear begins to feel like reality. The mind is always practicing something. The only question is, what are you practicing every single day without realizing it? Perhaps the greatest illusion of Instagram is not that everyone else is living a perfect life. It's that happiness is always somewhere else. In another city, another relationship, another body, another paycheck, another version of you. And if you could just become that version, finally, you would feel complete. That promise is incredibly seductive because it keeps moving. Every time you get closer, it quietly steps further away. The Buddha compared this restless chasing to trying to satisfy thirst by drinking salty water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Modern technology didn't invent that cycle. It simply made the water available 24 hours a day. And unless we understand how that cycle works inside our own minds, we'll continue mistaking stimulation for fulfillment, recognition for self-worth, and endless scrolling for connection. The question isn't whether Instagram is good or bad. The deeper question is this: what part of you keeps returning to it, hoping that this time it will finally fill a space that has never been satisfied by another notification? That is where our journey begins. Imagine carrying a backpack that grows 1 kilogram heavier every single day. At first, you hardly notice it. You walk normally. You smile. You keep moving. But months later, every step feels exhausting. The strange part is that you no longer realize you're carrying anything at all. The weight has become your normal. Many people live this way emotionally, not because life is unusually difficult, but because they are carrying invisible expectations everywhere they go. I should be further ahead. I should look better. I should earn more. I should have a bigger audience. Every scroll quietly adds another stone to that backpack. Rarely do we stop to ask a simple question: who packed it? Buddhist philosophy invites us to examine something that modern culture often celebrates without question: constant wanting. There is nothing wrong with having dreams. The problem begins when your peace depends on reaching them. Think about the last thing you desperately wanted. Perhaps it was a new phone, a relationship, a promotion, 10,000 followers. At first, your mind convinced you that life would finally feel complete. Then you achieved it. For a few days, maybe even a few weeks, everything felt exciting. And then something unexpected happened. The excitement faded. Your attention found a new target. Another goal, another milestone, another version of success. The finish line quietly moved farther away. This cycle has a name in modern psychology: hedonic adaptation. We quickly become accustomed to improvements, and what once felt extraordinary soon becomes ordinary again. Buddhist teachings observe this pattern long before scientific laboratories existed. The mind has a remarkable ability to transform more into not enough. Instagram accelerates this process. Every refresh presents another lifestyle to admire, another achievement to measure yourself against, another reason to postpone contentment. Without realizing it, your definition of a normal life keeps changing. A vacation no longer seems special because someone else is traveling every month. A healthy body no longer feels impressive because another creator appears impossibly perfect. A meaningful friendship no longer feels enough because someone else's social life looks endless. The platform rarely tells you that your life is lacking. It simply shows you enough alternatives that your own life begins to feel smaller by comparison. There is another quiet habit that deserves attention. Have you ever opened Instagram without knowing why? Not because you received a notification, not because you needed information, simply because your hand reached for the phone almost automatically. That tiny moment reveals something important. Many of our daily actions happen before conscious thought catches up. The Buddha placed enormous importance on awareness because he recognized how easily human beings drift into automatic patterns. Today, technology companies call these habits engagement. Ancient meditation traditions might simply call them unconscious repetition. Different vocabulary. Similar observation, every repeated action strengthens a pathway, not only in the brain, but in the way we experience the world. The more often we escape boredom by scrolling, the less comfortable we become with silence. The more often we seek validation online, the harder it becomes to recognize our own value without an audience. Slowly, almost invisibly, the phone stops being a tool. It begins to feel like a mirror, except this mirror doesn't reflect who you are. It reflects who algorithms predict will keep your attention the longest. That distinction matters, because one helps you understand yourself, the other helps keep you scrolling. Imagine standing beside a calm lake. When the surface is still, you can clearly see your reflection. Throw 100 stones into the water, and the image disappears beneath endless ripples. Our minds work in much the same way. Constant stimulation creates constant disturbance, not because stimulation is evil, but because clarity requires moments of stillness. This is why so many people feel strangely restless after an hour of scrolling. Their minds have consumed hundreds of stories, faces, opinions, advertisements, jokes, arguments, ambitions, and tragedies without ever pausing long enough to digest any of them. The result isn't simply information overload. It's emotional fragmentation. Part of your attention remains with the travel video. Another part stays with yesterday's news. Another keeps replaying someone's perfect relationship. Another worries about your own future. By the end of the day, your body is sitting in one room, but your mind has visited hundreds of places. No wonder it feels tired. The Buddhist path doesn't ask us to reject the modern world. It asks us to notice how the modern world influences the mind. Awareness comes before change. You cannot release what you refuse to see. So the next time you unlock your phone, pause for just a single breath. Ask yourself one honest question. What am I looking for? Entertainment? Connection? Escape? Reassurance? Or am I hoping that another few minutes of scrolling will quiet a feeling that actually needs my attention? Sometimes the answer will surprise you, because beneath the habit of scrolling is often a quieter emotion waiting to be acknowledged. Loneliness, fear, uncertainty, exhaustion, boredom. None of these emotions are enemies, but when we constantly distract ourselves from them, they never receive the understanding they ask for. Instead, they quietly grow stronger in the background. Perhaps the greatest freedom is not deleting every app. Perhaps it is learning that your peace does not have to depend on what appears on a 6-inch screen. That realization does not happen overnight. It begins with one moment of awareness, then another, and another, like drops of water slowly filling an empty bowl. Real transformation rarely announces itself with fireworks. More often, it arrives through small choices repeated consistently. And that is where the Buddhist journey truly begins, not by escaping the world, but by seeing it, and ourselves, with greater clarity. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, unlock your phone, and discover that overnight you've gained 1 million followers. Your latest post has gone viral. Thousands of comments are praising you. Brands want to work with you. People you once admired are suddenly following you. For a moment, it feels like you've finally arrived. Now ask yourself a different question. How long would that feeling last? A week? A month? A year? Eventually, something unexpected would happen. 1 million followers would stop feeling extraordinary. You would start wondering how to reach 2 million. A video that earns 100,000 views would suddenly feel disappointing because your last one reached 500,000. Success doesn't always reduce anxiety. Sometimes it simply changes its shape. The mind quickly turns today's dream into tomorrow's baseline. This is one of the quiet traps of chasing external validation. It doesn't promise satisfaction. It promises the pursuit of satisfaction, and those are very different things. The Buddha encouraged people to investigate their own experience rather than blindly accepting comforting stories. So let's investigate one together. Who is the person you're trying so hard to impress? Perhaps it's strangers online. Perhaps it's old classmates. Perhaps it's your family. Or perhaps it's a version of yourself that doesn't actually exist. Many of us carry an imaginary audience everywhere we go. We choose clothes for them. We measure success through their eyes. We even imagine what they might think about our failures. Yet most of these people are busy worrying about themselves, just as you are. Imagine walking through a crowded city. Every person you pass is carrying invisible concerns. Someone is worried about paying rent. Someone is grieving. Someone feels lonely despite having thousands of followers. Someone smiles in public while quietly battling self-doubt. Instagram rarely shows these hidden realities. It shows carefully selected moments, the celebration, the achievement, the perfect sunset, the polished smile. What it almost never shows is the ordinary Tuesday afternoon when someone questions their own worth. Yet those moments exist in every life, even the lives you envy. This is why comparison is so deceptive. You compare your unedited existence with someone else's carefully framed highlights. It feels like comparing an entire novel to the cover of another book. The comparison was unfair before it even began. Buddhist teachings speak of impermanence. Everything changes. Success changes. Failure changes. Beauty changes. Youth changes. Popularity changes. Even the emotions you're feeling right now will eventually pass. Knowing this can feel uncomfortable at first, but it also offers an incredible freedom. If praise cannot last forever, neither can criticism. If happiness changes, so does sadness. If anxiety can arise, it can also fade. This understanding doesn't make life meaningless. It makes each moment more precious. Think about a rainbow. Its beauty comes partly from the fact that it cannot be held. Imagine if every rainbow stayed in the sky forever. Eventually, people would stop noticing it. The same is true of almost everything we chase. Its excitement depends on its temporary nature. Yet our minds keep asking temporary experiences to provide permanent security. No vacation can do that. No relationship can do that. No amount of followers can do that. No algorithm was ever designed to answer the deepest questions about who you are. And perhaps that is the greatest misunderstanding of the digital age. We ask technology to solve emotional problems that require an inner understanding. We ask attention to replace connection. We ask popularity to replace belonging. We ask entertainment to replace peace. Then we wonder why the emptiness returns after the screen goes dark. There is an old image used in Buddhist practice. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you grip it tightly, the sand slips through your fingers. The tighter you squeeze, the more you lose. But if your hand relaxes, the sand can rest there naturally. Our relationship with approval often works the same way. The harder we chase it, the more power we give it over our lives. Ironically, many of the people we admire most are not admired because they desperately sought approval. They are admired because they devoted themselves to something larger than approval. A craft, a purpose, a service, a calling. Their attention was directed toward creating value, not constantly measuring their value. That distinction changes everything. Instead of asking, "Do people like me?" the question becomes, "Am I becoming someone whose actions reflect my values?" Instead of asking, "How many people noticed?" you begin asking, "Did I create something honest?" One question depends on the world. The other depends on you. That shift may seem small, but it transforms where your sense of worth comes from. When your identity rests entirely on changing opinions, life becomes an emotional roller coaster. One compliment lifts you. One criticism crushes you. One successful post gives you confidence. One disappointing post takes it away. The Buddha offered another possibility. Not an identity built from applause. Not an identity built from achievement, but a life grounded in awareness, compassion, wisdom, and intention. These qualities cannot be counted with likes. They cannot be measured by algorithms, yet they shape the quality of every moment you live. Perhaps real freedom begins when you stop asking the internet to tell you who you are, because the answer has never lived inside a screen. It has always been waiting in the quiet places that scrolling leaves behind. And the more willing you become to sit with that quiet, the less frightening it becomes. Eventually, you may discover that what you were searching for online was never missing. It was simply buried beneath noise. The journey forward is not about rejecting technology. It is about remembering that your mind deserves to be led by wisdom, not by whatever demands your attention next. Chapter 4. The Ego's Mirror. Why being seen never feels like enough. Walk into a crowded room. Notice what your mind does before you've spoken a single word. It wonders, do I look confident? Are people noticing me? Am I interesting enough? Most of us assume these thoughts are caused by other people. But look closer. Even when nobody is judging us, the mind often creates an invisible audience. Now replace that crowded room with Instagram. Instead of 20 people, there are millions. Instead of a passing glance, there are likes, comments, shares, and view counts. Suddenly, something deeply human becomes measurable. Attention becomes a number. Approval becomes a statistic. And identity begins to feel like a performance. The strange thing is that the numbers never tell the whole story. A post with 1,000 likes cannot tell you whether someone genuinely felt understood. 1 million views cannot tell you whether the creator slept peacefully that night. Metrics measure attention. They do not measure fulfillment. Yet our minds often confuse the two. Buddhist philosophy invites us to ask a question that feels surprisingly radical in today's world. Who is the I that needs constant approval? Most people answer this question with a list. My career, my appearance, my achievements, my reputation, my followers. But each of those things changes. Jobs come and go, bodies age, trends disappear, algorithms change, public opinion shifts overnight. If your identity is built entirely on changing things, your peace will change just as often. Imagine building a house on the waves instead of on solid ground. Every storm becomes a crisis, not because storms are unusual, but because the foundation was never stable. The Buddha encouraged people to build their lives differently, not around status, but around character, not around recognition, but around understanding. Ask yourself this: if nobody could applaud your kindness, would you still choose to be kind? If nobody could see your generosity, would you still help someone in need? If nobody could praise your honesty, would you still tell the truth? These questions reveal something important. Values remain meaningful even when they are invisible. Performance usually does not. Social media often rewards what is visible. Life, however, is shaped just as much by what no one else sees. The difficult conversation you handled with patience, the temptation you quietly resisted, the promise you kept, the moment you forgave instead of retaliating, none of these may go viral. Yet they slowly shape the person you become. This is where mindfulness offers an unexpected kind of freedom. Mindfulness does not ask you to stop using technology. It asks you to notice what technology is asking from you. Each time you reach for your phone, pause for a single breath, not to judge yourself, simply to observe. What am I hoping to feel? Sometimes the answer will be curiosity, sometimes boredom, sometimes loneliness, sometimes stress. That one moment of awareness creates space between impulse and action. And in that space, choice becomes possible. Perhaps you still open the app, perhaps you don't. The important difference is that the decision is now yours, not the habits. Real freedom is rarely dramatic. It often looks like one conscious decision replacing one unconscious reaction, repeated over days, then weeks, then years. Eventually, the mirror changes. Instead of asking the world, "Am I enough?" you begin asking yourself, "Am I living according to what truly matters?" That question has no algorithm, no notification, no follower count, yet it has guided people toward a more peaceful life for centuries. And perhaps, in a world where everyone is trying to be seen, the greatest transformation begins by learning to see yourself clearly. Imagine someone walked into your home every morning and quietly took $10 from your wallet. You would notice. You would ask questions. You would protect what was yours. Now imagine something far more valuable being taken, not your money, but your attention. Unlike money, attention can never be earned back. An hour spent is gone forever. And every day, countless companies compete for it. Not because they dislike you, not because they are evil, but because attention has become one of the world's most valuable resources. The longer you stay engaged, the more profitable the system becomes. That doesn't mean every app is harmful. It means every app has a goal, and your goals may not always be the same. One wants you to stay. The other may want you to grow. Those are very different destinations. The Buddha never spoke about smartphones, but he spoke constantly about attention. He understood that where attention rests, life gradually follows. If your attention lives in fear, fear becomes familiar. If your attention lives in resentment, resentment begins to shape your personality. If your attention is constantly scattered, peace becomes difficult to experience, not because peace has disappeared, but because the mind is rarely still long enough to recognize it. Think about the last hour you spent scrolling. How much of it do you actually remember? Can you recall the 10th video you watched? The 20th? The 50th? Probably not. Most content isn't designed to become wisdom. It's designed to become the next swipe, and then the next, and then the next. The result is a strange kind of exhaustion. Your eyes are busy, your fingers are moving, your brain is flooded with stimulation. Yet your heart often feels unchanged, or even emptier than before. It's like eating food that fills your stomach but never nourishes your body. For a moment, the hunger disappears. Soon after, it returns. This is why endless entertainment can leave us feeling strangely restless. We confuse stimulation with satisfaction. They are not the same. Stimulation is exciting. Satisfaction is quiet. Stimulation always asks for more. Satisfaction quietly says, "This moment is enough." Modern life trains us to chase the first. Buddhist practice trains us to recognize the second. That recognition begins with a simple exercise. The next time you pick up your phone, don't unlock it immediately. Hold it for a few seconds. Notice what your mind is expecting. A message? Good news? Relief from boredom? Validation? There is no right answer. Only awareness. Awareness turns automatic habits into conscious choices. And conscious choices slowly reshape a life. Many people believe freedom means having unlimited options. Buddhist philosophy suggests something different. Perhaps freedom is the ability to choose wisely among those options. You can open the app, or you can step outside. You can compare yourself, or you can appreciate what already exists in your own life. You can react instantly, or you can pause. That pause may last only a few seconds, but within those seconds lives a remarkable possibility. The possibility of not being controlled by every impulse. The possibility of responding instead of reacting. The possibility of remembering that your worth has never depended on how long strangers looked at a screen. In the end, your attention is your life. Where you repeatedly place it becomes the story you are living. So the question is no longer, how many hours did I spend online? The deeper question is, what kind of person are those hours quietly shaping me into? Because every day, with every choice, you are writing that answer. And unlike a social media post, it is a story that no algorithm can write for you. There is a story told in many meditation traditions. A student traveled for days to meet an old teacher. He expected secret techniques, mysterious rituals, or hidden wisdom that would transform his life overnight. Instead, the teacher handed him a cup of tea. As they sat together, the student waited impatiently. Finally, he asked, "When will you teach me?" The teacher smiled and replied, "I already am." The student looked confused. "There is no shortcut," the teacher continued. "Your life changes the moment you begin paying attention to it." That answer feels almost disappointing. We live in an age of instant solutions. 7-day transformations, 30-second life hacks, one-click success. Everything promises dramatic change. Yet the deepest changes rarely happen dramatically. They happen quietly. Not when the world applauds you, but when no one is watching. Think about how a tree grows. You never hear it. You never see it happening in real time. Yet years later, its roots have split stone. Real growth often looks exactly like that. Invisible today, obvious tomorrow. The same is true for the mind. Every time you pause before reacting, you strengthen patience. Every time you choose gratitude over comparison, you strengthen contentment. Every time you notice an anxious thought without immediately believing it, you strengthen wisdom. None of these moments will appear on your social media profile, yet together, they slowly reshape the person you become. This is why Buddhist practice places so much importance on ordinary moments. Not because ordinary moments are boring, because ordinary moments are where habits are built. Your future is not created by one extraordinary decision. It is created by thousands of ordinary ones. The decision to look up instead of down, to listen instead of interrupt, to breathe instead of panic, to rest instead of endlessly proving yourself. These choices seem small, but lives are often changed by small things repeated consistently. Now imagine two different mornings. In the first, the alarm rings. Before your feet touch the floor, your phone is already in your hand. Within minutes, your mind has absorbed headlines, opinions, advertisements, messages, and images of other people's lives. Before you've even met yourself today, you've already met the entire internet. In the second morning, nothing magical happens. You simply sit quietly for 1 minute. You notice your breathing. You feel the weight of your body. You hear the sounds around you. Only then do you decide what deserves your attention. The difference is not 1 minute. The difference is who is leading the day, the habit or your awareness. Modern life often encourages us to react instantly. Mindfulness teaches us to respond deliberately. Reaction is fast. Response is thoughtful. Reaction is driven by impulse. Response is guided by intention. That single distinction changes relationships, work, and even the way we speak to ourselves. Many people imagine inner peace as a life without problems. But peace is not the absence of difficulty. It is the ability to meet difficulty without immediately becoming lost inside it. Storms still come. Disappointments still happen. People still misunderstand us. Algorithms still change. The world remains unpredictable. The question is no longer whether life will challenge you. The question is whether your inner world can remain steady when it does. The Buddha often pointed people back to direct experience. Not to blind belief, not to perfect philosophy, but to observation. Notice what comparison feels like. Notice what gratitude feels like. Notice what resentment feels like. Notice what compassion feels like. Your own experience becomes the teacher. No app can do that work for you. No influencer can complete it on your behalf. No amount of online validation can replace it. Because the most meaningful journey is not measured by followers gained or posts shared. It is measured by the quiet moments when you become a little less controlled by fear, a little less attached to approval, and a little more present for the life that has been unfolding in front of you all along. Perhaps that is the quiet revolution our generation needs. Not abandoning technology, not escaping the modern world, but learning to use powerful tools without allowing them to shape our identity. To remember that a peaceful mind is built from attention, intention, and compassion, not from constant comparison. And every day offers another chance to begin again. Not with perfection, but with awareness. Imagine this moment. You've reached the end of another day. The notifications have stopped. The videos have ended. The comments have been read. The phone is finally placed face down on the table. The room becomes quiet, and for the first time all day, there is nothing demanding your attention, just you. That moment is both beautiful and uncomfortable. Beautiful because it is real. Uncomfortable because many of us have forgotten how to be alone with our own minds. We have become experts at filling every empty second. Waiting in line? Scroll. Sitting on the bus? Scroll. Feeling bored? Scroll. Feeling lonely? Scroll. Feeling anxious? Scroll. Without realizing it, we've trained ourselves to believe that every uncomfortable emotion needs an immediate distraction. But Buddhism offers a radically different perspective. It says that discomfort is not always a problem to solve. Sometimes it is a teacher waiting to be heard. What if your anxiety isn't trying to destroy you? What if it's trying to tell you that you've been searching for peace in places that were never designed to provide it? What if the endless comparison, the constant need for approval, the fear of missing out, are not your true identity? What if they are simply habits? Habits can be learned, and because they are learned, they can also be unlearned. This is where hope begins. Not in becoming someone else, but in remembering who you are beneath all the noise. The Buddha never promised a life without pain. No philosophy can honestly make that promise. People will still disappoint you. Dreams will sometimes fail. Loved ones will come and go. Your body will change. The world will continue moving faster than you expect. But suffering does not have to grow every time life becomes difficult. There is another way. A way of meeting each experience with awareness instead of panic, with curiosity instead of judgment, with compassion instead of self-hatred. And perhaps that is the greatest freedom available to any human being. Not controlling the world, but learning not to be controlled by every thought the world places inside your mind. Years from now, nobody will remember how many times you refreshed your feed. Nobody will remember the number of likes on your favorite post. Even today's viral trends will disappear. But something else will remain. The way you treated people. The kindness you offered when nobody expected it. The courage to stay true to your values when it would have been easier to pretend. The moments you were fully present with someone you loved. The peace you slowly built within yourself. Those things leave a different kind of legacy. One that cannot be deleted by an algorithm. One that does not depend on trends. One that grows quietly, day after day. So the next time your hand reaches for your phone, don't ask yourself, what's new online? Instead, pause for a moment and ask, what's happening inside me right now? That single question may not change your life overnight, but asked often enough, it can change the direction of your life. Because every moment of awareness is a step away from unconscious habit. Every act of compassion is a step away from comparison. Every breath taken with intention is a reminder that this moment, this ordinary, imperfect, beautiful moment is the only place where life is actually happening. Instagram is not your enemy. Technology is not your enemy. Even your restless mind is not your enemy. The real challenge is forgetting that your worth has never been determined by a screen. You were never meant to measure your life one notification at a time. You were meant to experience it, to learn, to love, to grow, to be present. So when this video ends, don't rush to the next one immediately. Take one slow breath, look around the room you're sitting in. Notice the people who are actually part of your life. Notice the sound of your own breathing. Notice that, for this one moment, nothing is missing. Maybe peace was never hiding inside the next notification. Maybe it has been patiently waiting, right here, beneath the noise, all along. If this reflection resonated with you, don't just leave with another idea, leave with one small practice. Spend 5 quiet minutes tomorrow without reaching for your phone. Observe your thoughts without judging them. That simple act may teach you more about your mind than hours of endless scrolling ever could. Because the greatest journey is not across the internet. It is the journey back to yourself. If this reflection made you pause for a moment and look at your own life differently, then stay connected with us on this journey. If you enjoy deep stories and ancient wisdom connected with modern life, consider subscribing to our channel. You're one. Like helps this message reach more people who may be silently struggling with comparison, anxiety, and the pressure of today's world. And if you feel that this message could help someone you know, share it with them. Because sometimes, a single thought can become the beginning of a powerful change in someone's life. Thank you for watching.